swear I just about knocked myself out getting into this thing. Gonna be a good day today. Morning. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Had a mild rain delay yesterday. Didn't get to really combine anything. Did a lot of honeydew jobs and office work and crap like that. So kind of a day off yesterday, but we're back at today. It's a little bit muddier than it was when we last seen you guys. The good news is, I believe we are going to be running the Gleaner. Like Larry is just now getting here. We're gonna dump this truck, and I believe that black truck's still loaded because, like I said, we didn't really do a whole lot of anything yesterday. Dad has already harvested one load. It's on the cart, and yeah, I'm sure at some point we're gonna eat some lunch. I mean, I ain't 100% sure, but I do know us. We're gonna eat lunch. Okay, so we're back over here at the other farm. We're not very far. The grain bin facilities, that's one question I get asked a lot. They're not very far apart, but we brought the truck back over here. Dad ran a load down there in that bottom field just to see what it was like. So Larry's gonna unload that, and we're gonna go find some chow. Larry already ate some chow. When we get back, we'll get back in the Gleaner, I reckon. Well, lunch was good. Let's get some corn harvested. Let the combines eat. All right, I gotta take some pictures. This is my combine. This is the secondary unit. I gotta take some pictures of it because if you haven't heard, we are pricing machines. Don't know if we're gonna have one this year, next year, or the year before, but getting a trade price on this one. All right, going through the computer in this combine. This combine has 1,600 hours. It's ran 6,000 miles. High mileage unit. 2,500,000 bushel through it, I think. So it's got some bushels. Now, this combine was not bought new by me. I bought it used. It was 3 or 4 years old. It had been a corn combine. I've primarily used it just as a bean machine. So most of those bushels somebody else put on it. Well, here we are in the Gleaner today. Trying to dry it out enough we could get on the ground. A little sticky this morning. Just one load over at the other farm. It's a little sticky, so we're over here at the bottoms, and it's pretty good shape. Gleaner don't leave much of a print. Unloading here, and we're back here doing this wet ground where the water's drowning it out after we planted it. Some of it's replant. The dark corn is the first crop. This lighter corn through here is replant. Like about 23% moisture, some of it, and some of it down to 18. All over. All right, Dad asked me to take his combine down to the field. He wants to do a comparison between his machine and the Gleaner. So that's what we're gonna do. Hey guys, while I'm thinking about it, don't forget to thumbs up the video. Trying to get them 10K every video. I've heard some people say that YouTube's not letting them like a video. Last I heard was you have to update your YouTube app if that's going on. So if you're clicking the thumbs up and it's not turning blue, be sure to update your YouTube app and you should be good. Go get one more truck and then we'll be all moved. They had a load already, so Larry brought me over. I'm gonna take the empty truck back. Larry's gonna start dumping this one. That way we can stay on top of things for a little bit longer. Because at some point, I'm gonna run the Gleaner and Dad's gonna run his combine so we can kind of get a side by side. So we don't need to fall behind before we even get started. Oh, I see Squishy. Ah, Squish! Need to take the garbage out. Buck deer! Buck deer! Buck deer! Oh, he's a nice one. I don't know if you guys can even see him. He just went into the corn. All right, Dad's still playing in the Gleaner, so I'm gonna get the drone out, fly it around him, see how it looks from the air.
You will rise, and I So this field is kind of split in half. This is from replant. So this field was part of what flooded, and we had to replant. We replanted across the rows. So that's why Dad went in there and basically split the field in half. So instead of nice big long rows, we have 2 sets of short rows. But had to do what we had to do. Got him out of the combine. Dad's gonna hop in his, and I guess we're gonna do some comparing. But we're not gonna run a whole lot more with the Gleaner. And then we are going to park it, because our time with it will be over.
Okay, there's the Gleaner. I'll let Brian run it now. Like Brian, BJ's checking the char there, I guess. So let him try it.
Dad's running right over there. We're gonna run this combine just a little bit longer. Larry's gonna be behind on trucks, and I'll have to go back to trucking, but it sure is fun having 2 in corn for a little while. Actually, these short rows kind of help us stay efficient, really. Haven't had to wait on the cart yet. Yield's not the greatest. Like, I mean, right here we're only at 140. This year you can really see the variables in these fields. Like over there I was 220. I've seen 120, so that's what we're seeing a lot of. Right through here is where the river got out and drowned this spot out, or this probably would have been the best ground in this field this year with the way the rest of the season turned out as far as just being really dry. Here's how many bushels an hour we're doing. With an 8 row, it's probably going to be hard to really get this thing maxed out, but with this yield in the corn, well, here's 180. It's not bad with an 8 row. I mean, we're running pretty fast right now. A little bit too fast. We'll slow that back down. I've seen it hit 3. I don't know if we sustained 3. We just don't have the rows or the bushels for that. Yeah. Alright, now we get out and look. There's some side-by-sides. So Dad, he started over at the other end of the field and worked this way, and I worked that way. So we're going to see what kind of difference we can tell. I think the Gleaner's doing pretty good. Don't see a lot on the ground. So this is where the cloths run a little bit. One thing about it, his deck plates will close up a little tighter. So some of it's going to be off the head for sure. I think the Capella head on our cloths is probably a better corn head than the factory Gleaner head. Well, one thing about this is pretty dry corn. Larry called me and said this is running 15 to 16%. So it's a lot drier than we were thinking. So that's probably, if it's by the row like that, that'd be butt shell, wouldn't it? There's a little here. This would be from the Gleaner right here. I think it's 3 kernels per square foot, equal a bushel. So there's your square foot. I've got 1. That's a cracked kernel. Maybe 1 to 2 kernels, maybe 3. So we're definitely in that bushel to under a bushel. I'd say there's 2 kernels there. So all in all, they were both doing a pretty darn good job, both under that bushel mark. So that's pretty good. I reckon we'll get back to harvesting. Especially as dry as this corn is, I'm pretty satisfied. When the corn is this dry, you get what we call butt shelling or head loss. Basically, that kernel of corn, or basically that ear of corn will hit the head and just shatter. So kernels will go everywhere. They'll go through the deck plates and on the ground. So you'll definitely lose some when corn's dry like this. Yep, it's definitely the rut. We might get to see some action here. We have a buck chasing the doe. So we're pushing the Gleaner pretty good. We're at 2,700 bushels an hour. With the 8 row, like I said, I'm not disappointed in that at all. Especially with our loss being this low. Everything's running really good on it. I've been pleasantly surprised in corn. Like I said, I would have loved to have seen a 12 row on it, but at least with the 8, we are getting an idea that, hey, it'll at least run with our 8 row. And I don't see why it wouldn't run at 12. I haven't seen anything that sticks out to me like, oh man, that's a cause for concern. Power seems good. I don't know about a chopping corn head, but I've never ran a chopping corn head, so I don't even know what kind of power those take.
Well, sure is a big difference between the 8-row and the 12-row. Take a whole bigger swath, get a lot more done. Even though that thing will run 6 miles an hour, that Gleaner. I can run about 5 in this corn, sometimes slow down, but dry, pretty dry. I think Larry said maybe 14.9 or 15 something. Pretty dry. Not real good, but it's not real bad. So this field had the water over it. Kind of grouty ground anyway, so you can see right here's some. It's must be a gravel pocket underneath. Hardly anything there. The rest of them was like 180 or so, but they get there, it's hardly anything.
I gotta say, I haven't had to wait on BJ much yet, and Larry's keeping up great, but part of that is because we're doing these short rows from this replant. If we were in the long, like if that replant wouldn't have been there, we'd be able to go back and forth, long rows, we'd have buried the trucks pretty fast. Okay, I take back last statement. We're waiting on the cart. We might cap corn the bejesus out of this thing. This machine has the larger grain tank, but I don't know if this counter's wrong. I've never been able to get 390 bushel out of it. Usually it's been closer to like 350. We can go a little bit more. There is a window up there you can see in that little spot mirror. It's like right there, you can see a little bit of daylight. Wait till BJ gets over here and we'll keep sending it. Look at that buck right there. Look at him. Right there. Focus, focus. There he is. That is a buck deer.
So the sample's not quite as clean as the Gleaner. Gleaner boy is just spotless. Hardly anything in it. That's drying it up, the crack bad. This one's pretty daggone clean, cleaned up. Just grinds a little bit more, slowed everything down. There's some other things you can do, I guess. Going back and forth beans, I don't like switching too much. Changing things. But I'll say the Gleaner, it does have a nice sample. Real nice. These are longer rows than what we were doing, and Larry was keeping up good, but now he's getting behind. So Brian will have to stop here pretty soon. Here comes Larry now with the truck. And the truck's loaded over there. We got a truck loaded on the cart, so we got one empty. So Brian will have to quit here in a few minutes or get that land down there, Brian, and start trucking.
Meal wagon. She doesn't have to do the combine call. I'll go anyways. Kayla, that's a pretty snazzy t-shirt. Do you know where you can get those?
Yeah.
Farmfocus.com, folks.
Yeah.
Link in the description. Hey, Goober.
I'm not a doobie, you a dooble.
Well, you look like you got some goober shoes. Them deer out there.
Really?
Hey, you see them deer? Put your shoe on, kid. You're barefoot. Bye, guys. Thanks for dinner. It's like I win the light game. Back to the corn we go. We only have about a little over 12 acres of this 100-acre field. And then we have like 20 or 30 in the next one. So we're going to end up knocking out about 100 acres of corn today. Maybe. Somewhere in there. Either way, it's going to be one of our best corn days. Turns out that's easier to do with 2 combines. But this is one of the first days where we've been going to the bins that we can keep up with 2. And it's one of the first days that we weren't planning on running beans like that day or the next afternoon. Everything just kind of worked out today. Okay, I might have broke through and been off a couple rows. So we're only taking 6, but in one video when we were doing beans in this combine, I made the statement that I didn't think it had swath control. It does, right there. Shows that we have 2 open rows, which we do, 1 on each end, and it does in fact have swath control. I also recently discovered that the reason this combine doesn't turn very short, I said that in one of the videos too, it didn't turn as short as ours, which it does not right now. It's only because the back wheels are spaced for this thing to get shipped. This is a demo combine, so it has been hopping around on a trailer from farm to farm throughout the fall. So that's why it doesn't turn as well. You could adjust the axles and the spacing on that wheel to get you a better turning radius, which we would do if this was our machine. Okay, we are done. We got done here. We're heading back to the bins. And we got a bunch of trucks to dump tonight. Everything's full now, so we did end up catching the trucks. Turns out 2 combines run. That happens pretty easy. We're going to run this in the morning tomorrow, and then we'll pretty much be out of fuel, so I need to check with some people to see what this combine's schedule is. Basically, we wanted to get we had filled it up, we wanted to get the fuel out, and then see what's going on from there. So we're going to take combines back to the bins, and then we're going to start dumping trucks, and yeah, that'll probably be it for tonight. Okay, let's get to moving some equipment. I like that little light out there. That is a nifty option. Looks like our security light still doesn't work over there. At least we still got that one. There's our updated total. That did say 980. Making progress. Alright guys, that's it for this one. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to thumbs up that video. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one.